for Coach in the back.
Coach, Eddie said that it felt like to him in the first half that they were getting the better of you guys, and it felt like they were playing the better half up until the goal. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, I mean, I think they had a pretty good rhythm with the ball and created a couple good looks, right? And probably, I mean, for the game, possession was 54-46. But I would guess that their possession might have been a little bit better than ours in that first half, right? They outshot us 8-5 in the first half. Yet at the same time, we had a couple, the run Huff went on and the ball Beata played across to to Dudley. So we still had a couple good looks, but there were a lot of moments in that first half where we were a little out of sorts defensively. We were kind of forcing things centrally and turning some balls over in bad spots, right? And I don't know if that was just, a little bit of nerviness, right? And that's where, again, you go to zip, right? And it's a big deal, right? Because you're right, they were probably feeling pretty good and probably feeling like, hey, we can win this game. And then all of a sudden, boom, in a half a second, they got to go into the locker room, down a goal, and find a way to get back in this game. And now our team is energized by that goal and feeling good and feeling a little bit more confident heading into the second half. So I might have said this in my opening statement, but goals change games, and she changed the game.
He also said that despite the fact that they played you 3 times and lost to you guys 3 times, that he loves coaching against you, and it's a chess match. Did it feel like that was the first chess move that you had to make, putting Zip in the game and her scoring that goal?
Yeah, Zip is, she scored a great goal against NC State on senior night, right, a special night, and beat a player off a dribble and just smashed it. I mean, the kid, she can hit a ball with absolutely both feet, right? And I told her that, this might be a bad thing to say, but I told her if I could, I would have bet $1,000 that she would have scored that goal, that chance that she had late in the game, because she's just so good in and around goal, right? And so the goal she scored against NC State, I think she scored against BC a couple games before that. So she's getting, some confidence. And I was so proud of that last moment when she did have that chance at the end of the game where she faced up and she beat a player, right? And got that shot off, right? And that just speaks to her confidence, right? There's another side of Zip that's very possession oriented and maybe cuts out of that and goes backwards. So it's all about having courage and willing to take risks. And like she said, the ball bounced a couple times on her goal and she just decided to have a rip, and I'm glad she did.
Second row.
Yeah. I think it would be amiss to not mention the game that's going on right now.
What game?
Just in the time that we've been here, obviously they've scored twice. What is that telling you as a coach? What are you preparing for?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we all saw what happened last Friday night, right? 1 week ago at BYU, right? 3-0, and all of a sudden it's 4-3. So a lot of time left to be played, right? 80 minutes, 79 minutes still to be played, right? And BYU has a real prolific attack. Yet at the same time, their challenge is steep because I think Stanford's given up just 10 goals all season, right? And now to win the game, they've got to, at least to tie the game and win on penalties, they got to score 20% of that total number for the season. So both teams are phenomenal. No matter who wins this game, we're going to have a tall task on Monday night. So, we got to bounce back. Like these guys said, it'll be about rest and recovery and preparation. But either way, it's going to be a great team on Monday.
Coach, I feel like I have to go back to this. The yellow card you got in the 30th minute,
Yeah.
that was about 6 minutes before Caitlin scored the goal. Do you feel like that single-handedly might have lit the fire under your team that ended up getting the goal near the end of the half?
No, I could try and take some credit for that, but that would be grossly ignorant or arrogant. And actually, I asked her at halftime why I got the yellow, and I said all I was asking is for you to take a look, because I thought that their player took our player down, chopped at her from behind, and I guess I got the yellow because anytime you are out of your technical area and do this, it's an automatic yellow. So I got that, and I apologized to our team at halftime. I said, look, we got to stay cool. I apologize for the yellow. We just got to keep playing.
Front row.
Talking about the defensive stat again too, and I know you give your back line a lot of credit, and you mentioned a little bit of them playing with a chip on their shoulder as well with recognition, stuff like that. At the same time, the stat line of just not being scored on throughout the entire tournament. How impressive has just that been for the defense and the statement they put out there?
It's a big deal. I didn't know the 2015 stat, right? But I did know that we were the only team within this group that hadn't conceded so far in the tournament. And then, I haven't said this stat in front of our teams, but that's now 14 games. In the last 14 games, we've only given up 1 goal in the run of play. That's an impressive stat right there. Gave up a PK, gave up a corner kick, gave up a free kick. So 4 goals against in the last 14 games. I think our back line and goalkeeping deserves a little bit of recognition.
Speaking of the back line, Mimi Van Zandt doesn't show up in the
Yeah.
stat sheet, but it felt like the goal that Dudley scored was because she put clamps on a second-team All-American on the other end.
100%, and that's not the first time that her defending has ignited our attacking. She is. You just never know what you're going to get out of freshmen, right? If they're good players, right? But what's the acclimation process? What's the confidence process? How do they deal with bad days, right? All of the above. And unfortunately, obviously, one of our outside backs, tore her ACL 8 minutes into our season, and Mimi stepped on. That was against A&M. She played 80 minutes against A&M, 80 minutes against TCU. We knew right then that weekend that we had a player, and she just gets absolutely better and better every game, both her defending and her attacking. She's going to have a bright future.
Time for a couple more.
Talking about Jordan, when she's out in the field and stuff like that, you talking about the way she's defended sometimes, reference to the A&M game a little bit too, when she's defended aggressively like that, but she ends up finding the back of you. What's her tenacity and mentality like just in those moments, just finishing?
Yeah, any good attacking player, and especially a central 9, you want them to be a menace, an absolute menace. Yeah, they're going to get defended well at times, they're going to get pushed, shoved, it's going to be physical. But those who keep coming back are the ones who can mentally and physically wear on defending opposition, right? And we like to, you can play this game a lot of different ways, and we like to wear back lines down, back half of teams down, right, with our relentless attacking. And Jordan Dudley, with her technique and her brain and her pace and her physicality, is the absolute epitome of that wearing down of an opponent.
So obviously you guys won today. Probably watch football tomorrow. Then Monday get back for the game. How do you guys get prepared for such a quick turnaround? I had an experience 2 weeks ago, but how do you just get ready for the biggest game of the season on such a short rest?
Yeah. We'll stay in our rhythm, right? Which is tomorrow morning we'll watch video on tonight's game and see where we were good and try and build upon those good moments, and then probably not till Sunday will we be prepared to start showing our team clips of tonight's winner. Maybe we can give them some little drips tomorrow night before dinner. And then we'll train on Sunday and start to do some walkthroughs and stuff. We're not going to do a whole lot of training between now and kickoff on Monday night, but as soon as we can, start talking about our opponent.
Last one.
Coach, what's it like being around this team and just having this special group around you? What gives you the most confidence going into Monday's national championship match?
Yeah, to win and to win at a high level, you need obviously a lot of talent, and we have that in all parts of the field, and we have that. You need great leadership, and we have that. And every college team, their fall begins in January, right? Ours began in January, and we had some tough times in January and February and March. We didn't win a spring game until April 22nd, right? And that was really hard. And there were times where we dealt with those struggles really well, and there were times where we didn't. We were emotional, and we lost our tempers, and we came undone. And we talked a lot about this season will be defined by how we deal with tough moments, and our team has been unbelievable in all those moments. And so, so I think our poise gives me confidence. Like I said, our leadership, right? Our confidence, and then probably what has built over the season is our team's belief that they could be good. And I know that might sound crazy because it's Florida State and, you know, in the final all the time and all this and that. Well, every year is a new year, and it's a new group of leaders, and they're very humble, and at the same time their standard is very high. And so it wasn't until I think that Notre Dame game where we beat them 4-1 at home that our team really started to believe, okay, you know what? We're actually pretty good, and we can be good. So the talent, the determination, and then the leadership, and then the final piece of the belief.
Well, Coach, thank you.